Hi guys, so today's video is the first one that I'm actually filming since being ill, so if my voice still sounds a little bit dodgy, that's because I've been ill for the past week. If you follow me on Twitter, you will be like, Soph, shut up, we know you're ill. Or on Snapchat even, like I've been banging on about it for ages, but I'm finally on the mend, so I thought I would film my best makeup of 2016 video, which is a very long time coming, and I'm just wearing a kind of chilled jumper. I've put my hair in a ponytail and I'm feeling pretty chilled in this video. I'm sorry if my autofocus keeps clicking. I'm hoping it won't, but it might. I mean, we're already like mid-January, so I probably should have done it already, but I didn't get around to it, so I'm finally going to be doing my favourite makeup of 2016. So because most of these products I've spoken about so many times before in videos, I'm not going to like touch on things for too long. I'm just going to literally tell you guys what my favourites were. Knowing me, I probably will still ramble on for ages because that's what I tend to do in my videos, but I'll try my best not to talk about them for too long. So firstly, I'm starting with foundations, and I have three favourite foundations that have really stood out this year. The first one is actually the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation. You guys have probably heard me talk about this so many times, and I've actually had to repurchase this foundation this year because I got through a whole bottle, which is quite rare for me because I use quite a lot of different like makeup brands and stuff, but I get mine in the shade Porcelain. It matches my skin perfectly, and yeah, I just love this foundation. It's really good for oily skin and I just love it. I think it's like £10 as well. The next foundation is actually like a rediscovery. I used to wear this quite a few years ago, but I've recently really got back into the Revlon Colour Stay foundation for oily to combination skin. I've mentioned this like quite a lot recently in videos, so yeah, I just absolutely love this stuff. They do it for dry skin as well, but this is the oily combo skin one because I have super oily skin, and I get mine in the shade Buff, and again, I think this is around £10. This is really good. I really like how thick it is. A lot of people don't, but I do. I personally just love it. I love everything about it and it's just great. And then for a high-end foundation, which I've discovered this year, 2016 is actually the year that I bought my first ever high-end foundation, which is the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. This stuff is incredible. Like, I can't really give you a drugstore dupe for this because I've never had a drugstore foundation that has lasted as long as this does. It is such good coverage, but at the same time it lasts like forever. Like I said before, I have really oily skin, and I've just found that this lasts like so long on my face. I have the shade 44, which is the second darkest shade, and I think it is £27. I did get it for 10% off when Debenhams were like doing some kind of deal, so I would recommend if you want to save a bit of money to look around for like when they're doing some kind of deal in their beauty department, but it is so worth it. I absolutely love this stuff and it's just perfect. But I'm pretty sure for the first like few times I wore it, it did break me out, but I guess my skin just got used to it. Either that or it just coincided really badly with like times when my skin broke out. Who knows, it could have just been hormonal, but yeah, great stuff. I feel like you guys are all gonna know what I'm gonna say for my concealer. Concealer of the year has to be the Collection Lasting Perfection. I've got through about, I think, 4 of these this year. I get mine in the shade Fair 1 and it's just the best concealer ever. Well, to be fair, I've never actually tried a high-end concealer, but I love this stuff and that's why I haven't felt the need to buy a high-end one, because I really like this one. So if you're looking for a cracking concealer that's only like £4, then this is your man. So next, moving on to powder, there's only really been one powder that's kind of stood out to me this year. I've pretty much used the same powder all year round. And I didn't know whether to put this in this video because this is actually discontinued in the UK. It's by the brand NYC, which used to be sold in Superdrug, but they don't sell it in Superdrug anymore, and I don't know why, because this powder is incredible. At the time, I think it was like $2.99 or something. I tweeted Superdrug like, where's NYC gone? And they were like, oh, it's being discontinued or something in the UK, and I was like, really? So I went out and bought like 5 of these. So I've actually got this one, and then I've actually got like a fully wrapped one that I haven't used yet. But if anybody knows of a really good drugstore translucent powder that isn't one of the white ones. This isn't white, it's kind of like a very just pale colour, because I have tried other loose translucent powders from the drugstore, but all of the ones that I've tried so far have given me like a kind of white cast on my face, like, and in flash photography it gives that kind of, you know, like horrible ghostly look, whereas this one doesn't. And I've also tried the Natural Collection and the Collection powder, and the MUA one, but they're all too orange for me, so I'm really struggling to find a good drugstore powder. But I believe you can still get this in America, so if you're one of my American viewers, then I would highly recommend you check out this powder. So next I'm going to move on to highlighters because I just really want to talk about them, and I've got so many good highlighters in my collection which I could talk about. I've had to narrow it down basically. If you are interested, I do have a video, 2 videos actually, about my highlighter collection. I've got one for my high-end highlighters and one for my drugstore highlighters, where I show you all of my highlighters and swatch them and all that jazz. But the 3 that have stood out to me this year are firstly the Sleek Solstice Highlighting Palette. I spoke about this so much a couple of months ago, and it's just incredible. I haven't worn it so much recently because I've been testing a lot of new things, but this is so good. I'm just gonna swatch like the 3 colours that I actually use. So this is what the 3 different colours look like. My personal favourites are this one at the bottom and the middle one. I kind of mix those 2 together, and then there's a kind of purpley one as well. I never really use the cream one, but the powder ones are just beautiful, and if you have pale skin then this one is a really good one, and I just love this so much. It's just like my baby, and I think it's like £10. The next highlight that I want to talk about is the New Look Pure Colour Baked Highlighter Powder in light pink. They've recently kind of repackaged their makeup line, but the highlighter is still the same, it's just in different packaging. This I think is $6.99, and it's just such a gorgeous formula. It's so pretty. They did also have one in gold, I think it was just called like gold or something, and that one was an exact dupe for MAC Soft and Gentle. I talked about it in my testing New Look makeup video, but I did actually end up selling that one because it was too dark for me. So if you're looking for a really good dupe for MAC Soft and Gentle, then maybe check out the gold version of this. I'll try and link it down below if they still do it, but I personally liked this one, which was in light pink, which is a much kind of lighter colour, and it's just the most gorgeous formula. Like, it is just so smooth and creamy, it's not chunky at all. Like, how stunning is that? It's just beautiful. And then I can't go through this video without talking about the Balm Mary Luminizer, because this is one of my favourite highlighters of all time. As you can see, I've used this a lot this year. It's got like a big dent in it in the middle, and this is just beautiful. I think I got mine for about £15, but this just makes your skin look so unbelievably healthy. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and if you're looking for your kind of first staple highlight, I would highly recommend this. I'm pretty sure Jaclyn Hill mentioned this in her favourites of 2016 video, and she said that it wasn't good for pale skin, but I personally have really pale skin, and I find that yes, it doesn't give you that kind of like white highlight, but it just gives your skin the most like beautiful glow, and it makes it look so healthy. So I would still recommend this if you do have pale skin. So that is that one on my hand there. Okay, so I've done this in kind of a weird order, but next I'm going to talk about bronzers. The #1 bronzer of the year, even though I only started using it in the summer, it's all I've been using since. This is the Freedom Contour Pan in 03. It's one of the loose contour pans, and if you just look at the colour like compared to my skin, you can just kind of tell that this is the most like perfect contour colour. I find that with a lot of like contour palettes and stuff, and just contour shades in general, they are way too dark and they just make me look kind of muddy, whereas this one is a really pale, but it builds up to the most beautiful contour shade ever, and I think this is like £3. I just keep it in this kind of magnetic palette that I got on eBay. Another notable mention is the shade in 04, which is just slightly darker, and I use that for if I want a bit more of an intense contour. And if you didn't know, you can get Freedom in Superdrug, and you can also get it from their website, which is just like Tam Beauty. Everything will be linked down below. And then in terms of actually like bronzing my face rather than actual like chiseling my cheekbones, I've got to mention the Sleek Face Contour Kit in light. This I've had for years, as you can see, of Hit Pan. It's just such a gorgeous bronzer. It's a really nice formula, and I just find that it works really well. And again, this is from Superdrug. I think it's about £7-ish, not 100% sure. I don't actually have any blushes to show you because, as you guys know, I don't really wear blush that often, so yeah, I don't really have a favourite. Okay, so in terms of eyeshadow palettes, I would say that this is probably my favourite of all time, is the Makeup Geek Mani MUA palette. I think this is still available on Beauty Bay. It's quite pricey. I think it's about £50, which is actually quite sickening, but it is just like, oh, Just the quality of this. If you save up your money and invest in this, you will not regret it. Or if you like put it on a birthday list or like ask for a Beauty Bay voucher or something, I don't know. I would just recommend this palette so much. It has a mirror and it's so travel friendly. The colours are just perfect. You can do like such a huge variety of looks with them. And it's just like everything. Like if I swatch a few of these colours, like here are some of the colours swatched. Hopefully you can tell they're just so insanely pigmented. I have to give a mention to the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I know this is really hard to get hold of, but I will link it down below. You can get it on Beauty Bay and Cult Beauty, and I'm pretty sure it might still be in stock on Beauty Bay. Not 100% sure, but I've mentioned this recently in a video and I have just realised that this is not the real one. I have picked up the fake one out of my drawer. I did a video like comparing the real and fake one, and I've picked up the fake one. But nonetheless, the real one is just my favourite thing in the world. It is absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, it's just got like everything I need, and if you're really into like warm shades, it's just perfect. Then in terms of drugstore eyeshadow palettes, Makeup Revolution have absolutely slayed this year. The first one I want to talk about, even though, well, both of these have actually got really recently, but I would definitely say they're my favourite drugstore palettes of the year. The first one is the Neutrals versus Neutrals palette, which is a really good dupe actually for the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. I think this is like £5. It's got loads of really pretty matte colours, but it's also got shimmers as well. And I just think this eyeshadow palette is amazing. And it has a mirror, and it comes with a brush, and it's really cheap. This is just so good. And then another one, if you like all matte shades, is the Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette. This is pretty much an exact dupe for the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette. And again, it's really cheap, so I would really recommend this too. In terms of eyebrows, there's only 2 products that I can really talk about because they're all I pretty much use. I've used other things like on and off, like the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the NYX like brow pencil. But overall, the things that I always go back to are both by Freedom. It's the Freedom Eyebrow Pomade in the shade Taupe, which is, okay, mine looks really gross. Let's not focus on that for too long. But you guys know that I love this stuff. It's waterproof, it stays all day, it's a great colour. I have the worst pins and needles in my foot. Like I can't actually feel my foot like nearly up to my knee. And the second one that I want to mention is the Freedom Duo Brow Powder in the shade Ash Brown. And as you can see, it's a very good match for my current hair colour. So when I've had grey hair, this is pretty much all I've been using. It's so easy to use, and they do it in loads of shades too, so I would definitely really recommend this. And I think both of those are less than £5, which is amazing because they are so good. So in terms of eyeliner, there has been one eyeliner this year that I just always go back to. It's always the one that I want to use, and it is the Soap & Glory Super Cat Skinny. It's not the normal Super Cat, but it's the Super Cat Skinny. It's like the skinny version, as the name kind of suggests. It's just the most perfect eyeliner ever. I think it's about £7 or £8. I really need to buy a new one because this one has run out. So I've been using other things, but this has just been my absolute favourite. It is so like fine and black, and it's just amazing. I don't find it smudges on me, so yeah, absolutely love this. I know I've used others like the Miss Sporty Meow Look eyeliner, and I also really like the Kat Von D tattoo liner, but overall the Soap & Glory one wins. Okay, so in terms of mascara, I've used a lot of mascaras this year, and once I start using them, I tend to use them like until they run out. So I haven't really used that many drugstore ones recently just because I've been testing like ones that I wanted to use up. But in terms of like my favourite of the year, it would probably have to be the Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara, but I know that this is really hard to get hold of, so I'm just gonna move on from this one. But if you are able to get hold of this, it's amazing. Mine has actually run out, so I probably will never get it again. But I also absolutely love the, not the waterproof version of this, but the like original version, the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I used this quite a lot towards the beginning of the year, and I absolutely loved it, but I just haven't repurchased it for some odd reason. I've got the waterproof one, but I didn't repurchase it because I had loads of other mascaras that I wanted to test, but it is a really good mascara. There's also one by L'Oreal that's like double-ended. I think it's called the Double Extension Mascara, possibly. That one is also amazing, but the one that I've been absolutely loving recently is the Pure Fully Charged Mascara, which is powered by magnetic technology, whatever that means. This is about £15, so it's not like the most crazy expensive mascara, but it's also not the most affordable. But this is so so good. You can get it on Beauty Bay, and I think like Marks and Spencer sell it as well. But this stuff is really, really good. It's a recent discovery and I absolutely love it. 2016 is the year that I've started wearing false eyelashes. I never used to wear them before this year, but my favourites I would have to say are the Eyelure number 117. I have a pack of 3 here. One of them is fallen down, so just ignore that one. But these are so natural looking. Well, they make your lashes look more dramatic, but they're still kind of natural looking. That didn't really make sense, but if you are new to false lashes, I would highly, highly recommend these, and the glue that comes with them is actually really good. I have one last thing to mention before I move on to lips. I actually want to give a massive shout out to the collection Glam Crystals Dazzling Gel Eyeliners. These have been great this year. I've used them so much, honestly. Like, I use them all over my eyelid, I use them on my inner corners, I use them just on the centre of my eyelid, I use them as liquid glitter eyeliner, and they're brilliant. I've got pretty much all of the colours, I think, but I just picked up this random gold one because I just thought I'd show you one instead of my entire collection. But these are so good, and it's like $2.99, I think. I think they're $2.99, and if you just want to add glitter to your makeup without having to use like glitter primer and all of that stuff, then just whack a bit of this on and you are good to go. So I really, really recommend these. So finally, onto lip products. I have quite a lot to talk about. The first ones that I'm going to talk about are the ones that I've actually got on my lips today. Today on my lips I have Colourpop Midi, which I really, really like actually. I'm pretty sure this is like the second time I've worn this colour, but it's a really nice one. But yeah, Colourpop liquid lipsticks. These are technically drugstore because they're very, very affordable. I know you can't get them in the UK like in Superdrug or Boots, but you can actually have them shipped to the UK. I did then get charged customs, but honestly, these lipsticks are worth it because I got so many. In my opinion, it's worth it because I love these so much. They are what I reach for on a pretty much daily basis, and my favourites out of all of them are Chi, which is this kind of brownie nudie sort of colour, also Beeper, which again is sort of a brownie nudie sort of colour, and then Point Zero, which is sort of a brownie nudie sort of colour. My cat is meowing. Yeah, no, but seriously, like, as you guys can tell, brownie nudes are probably my favourites. But Beeper and Chi are my favourites out of the Ultra Mattes. And then the Ultra Satins are probably one of my favourite formulas of all time. I definitely want to get some more because they're just so good. And I have Point Zero, which is in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. And this I reach for so often because it's so comfortable on the lips. It doesn't like dry down fully, but it's still matte. And I love this. Like, it's probably one of my favourite lipsticks of all time. And then also some of my favourites absolutely of all time and of the year have been the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. My favourite shades are Celebrity Skin and Gemini, and actually no, that's a lie. Posh Spice should be in here, but it's over there. But just Jeffree Star's liquid lipsticks in general are incredible. But they're my favourite formula ever, like ever. They're so good. You can get these on Beauty Bay. They're quite expensive, but in my opinion, I think they are worth it. And then finally, in terms of actual like lipsticks instead of, you know, like liquid lipsticks, if I had to pick from the drugstore, I would say that Maybelline lipsticks are the best that I've tried this year. These are such a lovely formula. These two are both from the matte range. I have Divine Wine and Gone Greige. And these are just beautiful. Like, they're so comfortable. I would say that these are kind of like, after MAC lipsticks, these are probably one of my favourite formulas of lipsticks. So if you haven't tried any Maybelline lipsticks, I would highly recommend them, especially the matte ones. And then the final lipstick that I have to mention, and the product that finishes off this whole video, I think, have I forgotten anything? Hopefully not, is MAC Well. And this has definitely been my most used MAC lipstick this year. I'm quite near to the bottom, and yeah, if I never know like what to throw on my lips, then I will always just put on MAC Well because it goes with pretty much everything, and it's just such a me colour. It's basically just like a brownie nude. So that is that one there. Just in general, in 2016, like brown lipsticks of any sort of variation have been my absolute favourites. So yeah. So that is it for this video. I know this video is going to be so long, so if you sat to the end, then thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for such an amazing year. My camera is about to die, so I'm going to have to be quick, but You guys, this year I went from 10,000 subscribers to 200,000 subscribers, which is just mental. And I want to say the biggest thank you if you've subscribed to my channel this year. You've honestly like changed my life, and I'm just so happy right now with YouTube and with you guys and with this like little community. Everyone is just so lovely, and I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys for making my 2016 so amazing. So if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. And also I hope you all have the most amazing 2017. So yeah, that is it. Goodbye!